Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel. For those of you that don't know me or that are new to this channel, I'm Christine. I'm an intuitive spiritual coach and consultant. I also am an energy healer and I read tarot and oracle cards, among many other things. I really wanted to dive in straight to the topic about trust and your psychic abilities, your intuition. I want to ask first, do you trust yourself? Do you trust others? Because those have a direct impact on your intuition and the abilities to hone, increase, or even accept your psychic abilities. And there's so many different, right? Think of the clairsentience. Some people say clairsentience, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairalience, clairgustance, and probably a few more that I'm missing. But the two questions that I posed, they're really interrelated, right? If we don't trust other people, more than likely we don't trust ourselves. And that is a key factor. That's a key foundation in developing your intuition and psychic abilities. So today we're going to have a chat about this and the positive effects that this has on your own intuition and also your psychic abilities. So first, trust serves as a foundation. It's really like the building block. When you build a home, you usually have some type of leveling, right? Some type of maybe cement, something to level out the ground. That's what trust serves in not just our spiritual life, but also our earthly practical life for many reasons. When we have to make a decision, when we have to adhere any warning signs or any incoming dangers, for example, or fears to alert us in our environment, any external stimuli, the first radar, the first alarm that we get that sounds off is in our internal body. So many of us, myself included, we have ignored those signs. As a result, after the fact, we've experienced red flags, maybe abuse or traumas, toxicity, or some form of danger because we've chosen to ignore what we were guided by, which is our intuition. And as we develop this, and in different capacities, because I believe everyone has access to and is born with many very different forms of psychic ability. Some people choose not to accept their gifts. Some people hone them over time and strengthen them. And there's other variations as well. But my point in mentioning this is that when we don't trust ourselves, and we don't listen to our internal guidance, our intuition, what's coming through. And some of us receive these messages in different ways, whether it's a gut feeling, right? That intuitive nudge that we feel more than likely in our sacral solar plexus areas, which is, about our belly, in between our belly, pelvis areas. Or sometimes we'll get images in our head, loud audible sounds, even if there's no one around us, words, smells, tastes. We'll get sensations or feels, or we'll just have a knowing. And so the important thing to remember is in these circumstances, trust in itself, it's just the very first foundation, right? Second, trust means, in essence, right, at the very essence of this definition, it means we believe in someone. Hopefully when we're talking about self-trust, it means we believe in ourselves. And that's really the very first step here. But that also means we trust in something higher than ourselves, whether that's the universe, higher power, God, divine source, light, whatever we ascribe this higher being, something bigger than us, we believe in. And so the thing is, if we deny that fact, if we choose not to believe, if we don't follow our intuitive nudges, if we ignore what's coming in, what we're feeling, for many reasons, which I'll get to, we're in essence also negating the fact that there is a larger presence, and we're not believing this larger presence. I call God, but I also use and interchange spirit, source, and the universe. And so it kind of trickles back down to us, but we're all connected, in other words, right? So that's why I asked those questions in the beginning. If we don't trust others, it mirrors back to us what it, in fact, we don't trust, which is obviously ourselves. And when we don't trust ourselves, we in essence don't trust this larger force, God, source, spirit, the universe. What's interesting is how are we going to believe our, I'll just say our spiritual team, our higher guides, and the messages they send us, if we don't believe in ourselves, if we don't believe what we hone, what we have, the abilities we have to not only receive these messages, but to accept them? That's a huge question. And the next part is, and I won't get too deep, I really want to make this video shorter as I can continue and ramble, is to really explore behind why you may not trust yourself, why you're not trusting the feelings that you're getting, the sensations, the words, the images, the smells, however you receive information, telepathically too, and talking with others through dream states, form of clairvoyance, but many other abilities as well. And also why you don't trust that nudge, that feeling, that niggle in your body. And there's so many different things that could impact this, but this can include some type of fear, some type of anxiety. It could be past life, karmic fears, but again, the root issue deals largely with fear, anxiety, or some type of resistance you have. And this could have been tied to a specific trauma or wound. So it takes some time to explore and to really ask yourself, why am I not trusting these feelings? What is it? This has to do too, in large part, with the way we have been conditioned, with the norms that have been placed upon us, not just by society, but also our cultures and the different strata we exist in, right? Because we have family units, we have our own family or chosen family units that we create, that we live in. We have cultural, societal values, perhaps socioeconomic or demographic conditions. We have greater human rights norms, greater value systems above us, and different layers that make it very, almost, it's not difficult, but it almost makes it very tedious to unpack. But it also allows us to explore what it is exactly that prevents us from trusting our own intuition. And for many, it could be fear of knowing that what you're receiving is actually true, and that where you're receiving this information, you may not know. Perhaps there's a fear of the unknown attached to that, or also the fear that what you're experiencing is actually accurate, it's true. And so I would suggest taking some time to explore that, to really ask yourself, keep asking yourself, why? Why do I feel this way? What am I negating? What am I ignoring? Why don't I trust myself? What don't I want to see or acknowledge? And again, there's so many reasons why I can get into in future videos, but my biggest advice is to start practicing. Reclaim your power back. That's one of the first things. Many times when we give away our power, when we allow others to treat us in a certain way, when we don't have boundaries, when we allow negative, or I'll say toxic energies to persist around us, when we know they shouldn't, and when we know we should exit, that can diminish our ability to trust ourselves, because so often we take in and receive, and not only that, we accept the information that's from outside of us. In essence, we allow the external to validate what's on the inside, which is not what we should do. And I've been there too. No judgment, absolutely no judgment. This is really all about calling in awareness, radical honesty, and just getting real with yourselves, and exploring this too with curiosity. At the time of this filming, we are in a season of Gemini, but this message is timeless regardless of which astrological season we're in or when the sun enters any particular zodiac sign. But second, action builds trust, right? Take time to do what you promise to yourself, because after that, that repetition builds, and you start learning that you can trust yourself, especially if you've experienced some type of trauma or abuse at the hands of others. And this is part of sometimes relinquishing our power, of putting or giving agency to others. And I've been in this situation too. But when we reclaim our agency and our means to control our own lives in a proactive way, in a way that allows us to grow as souls on this earth, because we're not just soul beings, but we're also very much earthly beings too. So there's a duality to balance there. It's important that we show ourselves that we can trust ourselves, and this takes just practice, one by one, knowing we surround ourselves with people that support us, people that don't question us, because it's very easy when you've experienced that type of negation of your own internal reality, of your own reality, to question yourself. And so it takes not just practice, but also making sure that you connect with others who can affirm you. And this goes to, again, be careful of not relying on that external validation all the time, but sometimes reaching out to someone that you really trust and support, whether that's a family member, a friend, a healthcare professional, or even a community if you're a part of one. Finally, I want to say too, actions speak louder than words. That's one adage or saying that I really live by, because I have a lot of people, or I had a lot of people in my lives that would say things and promise things, or say things like, oh, you know, we will do this or we will do that, and it never came to fruition. And I always pay attention to people's actions. Words are pretty meaningless, in all honesty. I do love words because I am an air sign, which is very general, but I do value words. But action shows a lot more, and that can help instill trust. Finally, affirm it. After you take some form of action to help yourself know that you can trust yourself again, affirm it. Say, I trust myself. It can feel weird at first, but when you keep saying it, eventually a switch almost turns on, like a light switch, and you believe it. And that belief instills even greater reinforcement. It's like rewarding yourself. This is an intrinsic form of motivation, nothing external here. And that in itself, when you repeat this, it helps, it builds. And that's actually one way that I overcame the lack of trust I had for myself after experiencing, I'll just say, challenges in life in the last several years. So I hope this video helped. This was very introductory. I wanted to keep it short again. I would love to go more in depth if there's anything in particular or any particular aspects you suggest going deeper into, let me know. But ultimately, your trust is positively related to your intuition and to your psychic abilities. And this is just the beginning, so hope this helped. If this resonated in any way, I would appreciate it if you could support me and like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.